Hey everybody! It is Wednesday night and the tree is lit. We are ready for another Q&A. Let's do this. Let me get myself set up over here. We are live. Great. Love to see it. All right. As always, when you join the chat, let me know that you are here. And as always, weekly tradition, let me know what the weather's like where you are. It has been freezing out here in Cleveland. I refuse to leave my apartment right now, so would love to know what's going on where you guys are. Let me move things around just a smidge. Oh, the star in the tree looks good tonight. Love it. Yep, cold Northwest Ohio day. Yeah, cold over on this side too. All right, lots of people here already. Love it. Beautiful in Las Vegas. I was thinking about going out for CES in January, and I think that we have decided not to do that. So I won't get any of your warm weather, unfortunately. 68 degrees in California. You think that's cold, Robert? That's cute. It is, let me check. You would think since I ask you guys every week that I would just know what's happening. 33 here and snowing. Love it. All right, let's see here. Middle of Michigan's mitten. Oh. Martin from North Carolina, 70 degrees. Wow, that sounds perfect. Shorts and flip-flops, Deborah says. Nice. Yeah, okay, so we can jump right into it. I'm seeing a couple of comments about this. The big news of today, we are so happy to hear that Roku and Google have mended fences, mended relationships. Yeah, they have come to an agreement. They will keep YouTube and YouTube TV on Google, which is great news. So they had until tomorrow to come to an agreement, and they let us know early that everything is good to go. So YouTube TV users rejoice, your app is back in the Roku store. So feel free to go ahead and buy your new Roku device if you are interested, and you will be able to get that app back. Love to see it. Yep, everyone's clapping. Agreed, I did too. Who blinked first? We're really not sure. I woke up to an email from Roku saying that we could go ahead and post at 9 o'clock this morning, letting our audience know that everything was good to go. So I rejoiced, and I saw a couple of you saying that. I went ahead and posted, and we haven't really heard a whole lot since. I know that YouTube is sending out emails to subscribers, letting them know the same thing, basically, just that they came to an agreement, and everything looks good. NYC says, I remember talking with Luke last month about them making a last-minute deal. Yeah, and I've talked to a couple of you today about this, especially over in the tech support Facebook group. We have been talking about how we always assume that they're going to, right? So these deals normally happen toward the end, like right as things are about to expire, we'll usually hear that everything is good. But I always hesitate to say that, even in a Q&A when I'm just chatting with you guys. I hesitate to say that it's going to happen because I have been wrong in the past. And the example that I mentioned was Fubo TV getting TNT back. And we all assumed that was going to happen right away, and it just didn't happen. So I'm always hesitant to say, yes, this is definitely going to happen, because you just never know if at the last minute things are going to fall through, and I would hate to have to come back and say, I'm so sorry, I led you guys astray. I was incorrect. So I always say that I assume that they're going to, but we can't be completely sure until we hear from them. So luckily we heard from them today, and now I don't have to be glued to my email all day tomorrow, which is great news for me. Tyler says, I wish that PlayStation View would come back. Yeah, I know. A lot of you were just saying this over on Twitter too. I think Luke actually posted something about PlayStation View. So a lot of you were chiming in and saying that you really miss it. But I know, it's gone. It's gone for good, unfortunately. Luke and I always agreed that we just thought it was a really good service, but just wish that Sony would have invested more into it. I think it could have been really great. I think that it could have been right up there with YouTube TV. So it was disappointing to see them not investing time, money, resources into that streaming service because I'm with you. I thought it was really good. I would have loved to see that one survive. NYC says also predicted that Disney and Johansson would settle out of court regarding pay disputes. Oh, Scarlett Johansson, gotcha. So I got 2 predictions correct. Way to go. It feels like you should just have my job. Just take it. Norm says when money is on the line, anything is possible. Yeah, and that's what I'm really interested in. Of course, we will never know all of the details about that agreement, but would love to know what happened, which side had to give in a little bit with the money. Hey everyone, glad to have you here. I love it when people pop in just to say hi that they're here. Love it. Thank you so much. DMS says, strange that they would schedule agreements to end right smack in the middle of Christmas shopping season. I'm assuming that definitely played a part in them coming to an agreement. I think people want to buy Rokus, but they were really hesitating because they wanted to make sure they would have YouTube TV. People were kind of dropping YouTube TV and trying a different service, so I think it really just benefited both parties to make that agreement. Oh yeah, Brett says, I took the Cordy Awards survey. Thank you so much. Let me see if I can find a link for that. For those of you who don't know, we do the Cordy Awards at the end of each year, and it's just our kind of end of the year survey to find out what services you guys are using, what devices you're using. You just get to vote on your favorites. And we added a question this year where I asked you, hang on one second, there we go, where I asked you to let me know what your favorite original streaming content has been. So I just thought it would be interesting to kind of hear from you what you're watching on that survey. So thank you to everyone who has taken it already. And if you haven't, there's the link to go ahead and do that. We really appreciate it. I have so much fun going through all of your answers at the end of the year and putting together posts to share what your favorite services, devices, antennas, everything are. I'm seeing lots of people saying hello to Michael Saves, who is in the chat tonight. We are happy to have you here. A friend of Cord Cutters News, a member of the tech support Facebook group. Always nice to see you. Yeah, lots of people saying they took the survey. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Like I said, it's just fun to see what everyone is into, and it's so interesting to see it all put together like that. I'm a little bit of a data nerd, so just seeing the graph of what everyone is watching and what you're using has been super fun the past few years. The survey's staying open until the end of this week. I think I'll close it on Saturday afternoon. I'll post a couple of reminders too in the meantime. But yeah, I think that we'll leave it open until Saturday so I have time to put together the posts and everything. G Money says, does everyone who takes the survey win a free, very rare Cord Cutters mug? Unfortunately, no. If I had enough to give away, I would. I have one and then a couple of extras. At some point, I would love to do a giveaway. I still have a couple of them wrapped up and sitting in my closet in my office, specifically to give away. I just don't know how to make a giveaway work at the moment, but would love to sometime. All right, let me scroll up. I feel like I missed a couple things while I was over there looking for that link. As always, I can only do one thing at once. Cheryl says, had to sign up for Sling TV for a trial to get TNT so I can watch Vegas Golden Knights game this week. $10 for a 7-day free trial. Yeah, love that. $10 for a free trial. Gosh, I can't speak. $10 for a 7-day trial. I think it's $10 for your first full month. I believe they're still doing that. But yeah, it definitely stinks that you have to try a different service to watch your sports teams. I know all of Cleveland is collectively angry that it's so hard to watch Cavs games. So I'm right there with you. Do I think that Amazon Prime will strike a deal with Roku? There are reports that the deal doesn't end, but some are saying that's Amazon trying to save face. I'm not really sure. I don't think I've heard too much about this. I'll have to look into that a little bit more. I'm not really sure what the deal is. Let's see here. Glad that YouTube and Roku made peace. I completely agree. That was great news for everybody. All right, let's see here. Yeah, $10 for a full month of Sling TV, I believe. At least that was true as of a couple days ago when I checked. Tyler says, I heard that Target Circle has Apple TV for free. Yeah, so something that I would like to remind you guys of, if you have Target, the Circle app that you use to get your deals while you're shopping in store or online, always check those. Sometimes they have really good deals and discounts and things for streaming services. So right now they have one for Apple TV Plus. And another thing to check is your credit cards. So I know for me, I have my Chase card, and sometimes random offers for things like Fubo TV is one I've seen on there. And I think they did Disney Plus, maybe one of those Plus services. So definitely check those. And if it's something that you're already subscribed to, if you want to switch over your payment method to pay with that card, sometimes you can get a deal. So just keep an eye out, especially around the holidays. It seems like they love doing extra deals. All right. Michael Save says, hey guys, just curious about everyone's thoughts on ESPN. 75 million subscribers now. Reports say it has to fall below 50 before direct to consumer. How soon could that happen? Ooh, great question. I don't know. It's been growing pretty steadily, so I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen there. My question for all of you too is, do you think that Disney is going to keep ESPN or try to offload it? Do you think it fits with their brand? Would love to know what you guys think. And I'm interested to see what happens too with ESPN Plus when people start getting it as part of their Hulu with live TV service. Do we think that people are going to keep the service? Do we think that it'll boost ESPN Plus subscriber numbers? I don't know. I have a lot of questions about ESPN and ESPN Plus, and unfortunately, I don't really have any answers for any of you. So, would love to get your opinion on what that's going to look like. Some people are saying that after football season, they think that ESPN viewership will plummet. I agree, but does that mean that people will unsubscribe completely or just stop watching? It's not like it's a very expensive service. I don't know. Jeff says just subscribe to ESPN Plus. Yeah, the numbers are going up, so not entirely sure what's happening there. Cheryl says hard to believe that Disney would get rid of a moneymaker. That's true, and I do think that they like having a foot in the door with sports. So interested to see what happens. Do any of you think that ESPN Plus has a chance to get Sunday ticket rights? We know that Apple is interested, we know that Amazon is interested, and we know that Disney is also interested. So what do we think is going to happen there? NYC says, I believe that Bob Chapek said on one of the investor calls that he wanted to invest in more sports. I wouldn't be surprised if Disney makes an attempt to acquire WWE. That's interesting. Yeah, maybe. Hadn't really thought about that. Good point. DMS says Disney movies and theme parks are losing money. ESPN and Disney Plus are all they have. Yeah, I know that the pandemic really hit theme parks hard, so yeah, agreed. Streaming was kind of a good lifesaver for them. Yeah, they are adding stuff. Cheryl said I'd get some hockey games on ESPN Plus. DMS says, how long before ESPN goes full subscription based like HBO? I think that's what Michael was asking about too. And to be honest, I have no idea how long that would take or what it would look like. Chris says that the rumor about Disney buying WWE has been going on forever. Yeah, I almost tune things like that out whenever it's just a rumor that's been going on and on and on with no action. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't have super strong opinions about ESPN either way, so I'm definitely not the best person to ask about this. But curious about what you guys think about it. Do you think it's a channel worth adding to your streaming setup or not so much? I'm hearing mixed messages all the time. Trekopedia says, sad to see AP Bio go, great show, and this could add to the rumors that Glenn Howerton from that and It's Always Sunny is Mr. Fantastic. Ooh, I like that. I really like him as an actor, and I agree, I really did like AP Bio, and I'm a big It's Always Sunny fan, so I am a fan of his. Michael says, would prefer if Sunday Ticket went to Amazon because I don't stream a lot on Prime Video, but then I guess Prime membership may go up. Yeah, I'm with you. I think that Amazon makes sense, especially with their existing relationship with the NFL. I think that of all the options I've heard, that one seems to make the most sense to me. Although taking it to ESPN Plus would make sense too, I suppose, if Disney really wants to invest in sports. But yeah, I think that Amazon makes a lot of sense. I think that it would be really helpful for Prime Video. Not that Amazon needs help getting subscribers, but you know. Yeah, so to me, it makes sense. It seems like games on Prime Video seem to go pretty well. I know that that's an issue that some of these streaming services have. When they try to show live sports, there's so much buffering. People are having a hard time getting in and watching things. Lots of complaints, but we know that Prime Video can handle it because we've seen it with Thursday Night Football. I don't know about the cost going up. I would assume it would. I don't know if it would be like an add-on to your Prime membership or something. I guess there's a lot that they could do with it, so we will wait and see. I have a feeling we won't find out anything until the very end of this football season. Have I seen new episodes of It's Always Sunny? I watched the most recent two the other day while I was cleaning up my office. Cheryl says, I like Fubo TV Premium, very few channels missing from their lineup. Yeah, it's a good one. I think Fubo TV is good, and I think that it doesn't get enough credit. I know it started as kind of a smaller service that was really sports focused, but they have pretty much everything now. If they could get those RSNs, man, they'd be in business. Annette wants to know what everybody thinks about Apple TV. I'm assuming you mean Apple TV Plus? I'm a big fan. I think they have some of the best original content. I really like that they started out with only original content, and they've really been coming up with some good stuff, so I'm a fan. Some of you told me to watch Foundation, and I did start watching it. Really, really good, so thank you for that recommendation. Chris says, speaking of Prime Video, Wheel of Time series is doing very well with both the books and with both people who have read the books and those who have not. Yeah, I've heard it's really good. That's one that I do not have time for yet, but maybe someday. But I know a lot of you are watching it. You've been talking about it on Twitter and over in the tech support group, so definitely on the list. And if anyone is looking for a good, would you guys call it like a sci-fi? How would we describe Wheel of Time? Yeah, lots of Apple TV Plus users here. Lots of people saying they enjoy it. The morning show I thought was really good too. Schmigadoon, you guys know I love. Thank you. Ted Lasso, of course. Jermaine says my favorite shows are on Apple TV Plus: Foundation, Invasion, and Ted Lasso. NYC says the morning show, The Shrink Next Door. Yeah, lots of good stuff. What is the link for the Facebook group? Let me see if I can grab that for you. I'm on a different computer than I'm normally on, so let me jump over to a different browser. Sorry. Taking forever right now. So we have a page, the Cord Cutters News page on Facebook, and then we have the Cord Cutting Tech Support group, where you can come in and ask questions. People, for the most part, are super helpful. Not always, but most of the time. And I try to get rid of the people who are making snarky comments and not being helpful. John says, just found out that YouTube TV added Game Show Network and Get TV. Yep, they just announced that deal earlier today. We have a post up about it over at Cord Cutters News. They added those two. I hate to say this, but they've been adding a lot of stuff lately, making some improvements. I just have a feeling that we're in for a price hike. So haven't heard anything, can't confirm. I just have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to see that soon. Okay, Wheel of Time. We're describing it as a fantasy adventure. Okay, I like that. Having some similarities to Lord of the Rings has been compared to HBO Game of Thrones. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Chris. Super helpful. Charlie Brown holiday specials. Yeah, another reason to get Apple TV Plus. True story. Right. Let me see here. Jose says, if I had to choose only one, it would be HBO Max for my favorite content. Disney Plus, Discovery Plus have the least content I would pay for. Fair enough. That's the nice thing about some of these smaller services. If you subscribe to one for a month, it's not enough that it's really going to break the bank. And then if you want, you can switch off between them, try a different one every month, get a chance to see everything they all have. Do you need to be in the Apple ecosystem to enjoy Apple TV? You absolutely do not. You can use it on most streaming devices. Tyler has a question about Target Circle and subscription streaming services. I will try to answer, but I don't know a whole lot about it, to be completely honest, but we can try and figure it out, or if somebody in the chat has an answer. So ask away, Tyler. Jeff says, my girlfriend lives on Discovery Plus. Jeff, I have a feeling that your girlfriend is into true crime, which is great on Discovery Plus. John says they haven't announced a price hike when they added Hallmark channels last month. Yeah, another reason that I think one might be coming. They've just been doing a lot lately. Maybe gearing everybody up for that price hike. All right, Jordan says, so far you've watched Charlie Brown Christmas and Silent Night, Deadly Night 4. Yikes. Okay, so everybody, what Christmas movies have you already watched? Which ones are on your list? I know we talked about this last week, but it's that time of the year. We have to keep talking about it. So far, I have watched, let me think, I've seen Elf. I've watched Happiest Season on Hulu, and a handful of things on Netflix. Have not loved any of them. Not a big fan of the Netflix originals this holiday. Die Hard, I have not watched yet this year, but I will. It's on my list always. Christmas Vacation is your go-to. Yep. The Christmas Carol with George C. Scott. NYC says Santa Claus 3. All great options. Yeah, there are a ton right now. HBO Max has a lot of Christmas content and a couple of originals, which might be nice. Netflix has a bunch of new original stuff, but like I said, not my favorite. It's a Wonderful Life, yep. Polar Express, that's a good one. Deborah says, got rid of Netflix. Honestly, I'm thinking I might. Although they do have some original stuff that I like. Just haven't been super impressed lately. Trekopedia says, Scrooged with Bill Murray. Nice. Christmas with the Cranks, yeah, love that one. All right, let's see. What else do we have to talk about today? Let me scroll through the news and see what else is going on here. We have seen all of these free streaming services adding a ton of new channels lately. Love to see it. Samsung TV Plus added a bunch. I think Plex has added some. Google TV added over 300 free live channels from Pluto TV, so that's very exciting for Google TV users. What else? What else? Roku channel added some, and they are bringing back Punk'd, if anyone's interested. Polar Express, Jingle All the Way is another favorite. We'll be watching Elf and Christmas Vacation this weekend. I might too. I'm actually taking the day off on Friday. Maybe I'll just watch Christmas movies all day long. Lifetime and Hallmark, classics, absolutely. G-Money. All right, G-Money has a watch list for us. Charlie Brown, Rudolph, Frosty, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, Christmas Carol, and you've never seen Elf? My gosh, put it on your list right now. Is Gremlins a Christmas movie? I'm going to say no on that one, but somebody, if you have a differing opinion, please let me know. Make your case. Santa Claus 1 and 2, It's a Wonderful Life. I have that one on VHS still, so I'm showing my age a little bit. NYC says, hoping that ad-supported streaming services add ASMR channels. The Bob Ross channel is good, but I need more. You know what? That's a great idea. I would love to see Pluto TV do a dedicated channel for ASMR. I'm with you. I think that the reason that Bob Ross really, that free streaming channel, why it really blew up over the pandemic is that people just wanted that very calm, relaxing video 24/7. So anytime you want, you just turn on Bob Ross and paint some happy little trees and listen to him be like a nice, soothing, calming person in your life. So I think that you are not alone and people would probably love that. So I'll reach out to Pluto. I'll tell them that we have an idea. But yeah, I could see that being a channel. It works on YouTube. Why not a free streaming service? Oh, Jordan wants to know if anyone else watched Annie live. I did not watch it, but maybe I will. Surprisingly delightful, and this is coming from someone who doesn't like musicals. As someone who very much does like musicals, I think that one's going to be on my list too. November Christmas. Chris says I would say yes to Gremlins. Okay, maybe this is like another Die Hard situation. Maybe I'll watch it again and see what happens. Chris says Gremlins is a Christmas movie since Gizmo was a gift to the son where he did not follow the directions to take care of him. Okay, I like the argument. Yeah. Keith says, I got hooked on Netflix because of the Vivian Mayer documentary, but eventually stopped subscribing after a year. I'm wondering if we might see more people dropping Netflix. That one has been kind of a mainstay for a lot of people. I think so many of us have just been subscribed from the beginning, and we're so used to having it that it's just kind of something we keep paying for every month. But now I'm wondering, with so many other options, if we might start seeing more people drop Netflix in favor of other services. Trichopedia says, I'm just happy that Peacock put Chucky the first season up because not many people have sci-fi in USA. Yeah, I agree. I think that was a smart move, and I think that more people are likely to stream it than try to go find it on traditional TV. The remake of West Side Story comes out on Friday. That's probably one that I will see. Oh yeah, did anyone watch the reboot of Facts of Life in Different Strokes? I have not watched it, but I've been seeing it all over the place. It's been all over Twitter. Gary wants to know if the Amazon problem affected us yesterday. So Amazon Web Services was down. It took a ton of sites and services down with it. So a lot of things were out. I know Roku, Disney Plus, Ring doorbells, those were all affected. Cord Cutters News was not, but a lot of the things that we use day to day, a lot of these sites and services are things that we use constantly. And so we were definitely running into some troubles. And I know Philip was trying to test a couple of things and he has found that services are not working well. So what a mess. What a mess. Yeah, Pam, I'm with you. I've also been subscribed to Netflix since they had DVDs. I remember getting like 3 of them mailed to me at a time, for sure. All right, Jermaine says Facts of Life in Different Strokes was hilarious. I'll have to give it a try. Belty Cat says, on December 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern, MeTV is doing a cartoon holiday special. Nice. So MeTV is a channel that most of us can get with our antennas, so definitely check that out. December 13th at 8 p.m. Chris says Facts of Life in Different Strokes is on Hulu if anyone did not catch it live and wants to watch a replay. John says, nice Christmas tree. Thank you. The tree is looking cute tonight with this star lit up. I picked out all of my favorite nerdy little ornaments that I thought you guys would appreciate. We have a Seinfeld sweater, Festivus sweater. We've got the leg lamp from A Christmas Story. The Friends turkey is up there. Mario. I've got some little Marvel ornaments. What else? Oh, Star Wars. I have some little Star Wars ornaments on there too. Did I see the Saturday Night Live skit about canceling cable? Yes, and I meant to retweet it on the Cord Cutters News account, but I don't think I did. Yeah, hilarious. Agreed. I'll post that later. I'll go find it and post it. Excuse me. Michael says, why is Peacock lacking key features? And somebody mentioned it depends on what tier you have. I would agree with that. I would say that the free tier is free for a reason. You're not getting everything. So you're missing out on a lot of content. You're missing out on a lot of features. I would recommend, if you like the free version, give the paid one a try and just see if you're happy with everything you get once you pay to upgrade. Trekopedia says, you know it's a good tree when Mario is protecting it. I completely agree. Keith says, Netflix had shows I liked and they would eventually disappear. Yep, that is because of licensing rights, and whenever deals expire, they would go somewhere else. Yeah, completely. So that's the problem with a lot of streaming services now. And also another reason I could see people maybe switching to a different service, leaving Netflix and going somewhere else, just because once these licensing rights run out, people are taking that content and putting it on their own service. So if you're looking for a specific show, you might have to go somewhere else to try it or go somewhere else to watch it. So I could see that happening. I could see more people canceling because of that. Obviously, Netflix is fine. They're not going anywhere. They are gaining subscribers around the world, so they're fine. But I could see people canceling for that reason. Someone said I need a Christmas hat, and actually, let me see. Can't find it. Where did I put it? I have some Christmas accessories laying around somewhere. I'll bring them out next week. I thought for sure I put them in my desk drawer, but I'll find them for next week. Oh, a bunch of you are saying that you got Luke's Christmas card. So Luke, our Cord Cutters News founder, had been asking if anyone wanted a Christmas card from his family. I put my name on the list. I wonder if mine's waiting for me in my mailbox. Somebody asked for the link for the survey. Let me see if I can find that again. Sorry, I keep losing it. Here we go. My internet is being slow. Sorry about that. Can't multitask. It's always a problem in my life. There we go. All right. Eric says Netflix produces their own programming to get subscribers. Yeah, and I think that's something that streaming services have to do now just to stay competitive. They are making their own original content, and that's how they are pulling in new subscribers and keeping the ones that they have, giving people a reason to stick around. So I think Netflix is doing a great job. I think they're really investing in their original content. So I think that whenever people stay, that's going to play a big part. Steve, so sorry if you asked a question and I didn't see it. If you ask again, I will try to answer. Sorry about that. The comments go by pretty quickly, and so I know I'm missing some. EMT says, Dexter New Blood is awesome. So glad they brought Dexter back. We were just talking about that in a meeting earlier today, that people were loving the new Dexter show. Jordan says, still have my VHS copy of The Nightmare Before Christmas. Nice. One of my prized possessions. I will tell you guys, this is a little bit embarrassing, but we're all friends here, so I'll admit it. My favorite movie on VHS was the Babysitter's Club movie, and I still have it. It's at my mom's house. Love that thing. Will never get rid of it. Michael says HBO Max is better than Netflix by a mile. You know what? I think that HBO Max was such a good move by AT&T HBO. They have such a good library of content and shows that people will want to keep watching over and over, even after you get through the whole series. People want to go back and watch these shows from the 90s, especially Sopranos. People want to keep watching Sex and the City, so great move. And then during the pandemic, having their movies go straight to HBO Max was genius. I know some people had an issue with it, especially people in the movie industry. I think it was a very smart idea and would agree that HBO Max is just a great service. Yeah, lots of people agreeing. I don't know if I think it's better than Netflix, but maybe. I think I probably use HBO Max more than Netflix. NYC says Glee is leaving Netflix. Hope it goes to Disney Plus. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for it. Yeah, lots and lots of love for HBO Max. Yeah, Steve, completely understand if you're frustrated that I'm not answering your questions. So sorry. Like I said, the comments go by really quickly. So if you had a question I didn't answer, please ask it again. Roland says, I like HBO Max a lot, especially since it's free for us, free for people who use AARP and AT&T Wireless. Yeah, and then it's available as part of some DirecTV Stream packages. And there was another one. Oh, you can get a free trial of it with Hulu. I think you get a week of it free. Another thing to check, yeah, for sure, is your wireless plan. I know with Verizon, I get a ton of stuff for free. Discovery Plus I'm getting for free right now, so check your plan, see if there is anything being offered. Tyler says AT&T merging with Discovery for the bundles, the streaming service with HBO Max, Discovery Plus, CNN Plus, so much stuff. Yeah, we haven't heard a whole lot about the merger lately. They keep talking about having separate services, bundling, merging, so not completely sure what's happening yet. Google Play coming back to Roku. I have not heard anything about that. That would make sense though. I wonder if that was part of their agreement. Haven't heard anything though. Let's see. Eric says, read online that in the future Peacock will have Universal movies on Peacock 45 to 90 days and away from HBO Max. Excuse me. Universal will not renew their contract. Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of things like this coming up. I think that streaming services are going to try to make exclusive deals with movie studios because now that we've seen the success that HBO Max had with those same day releases, I think others are going to try doing something similar, just kind of narrowing that theatrical window. So I know that Peacock is trying to make plans. I know HBO Max is trying to make plans. I think Paramount is also. So I think we'll see a lot more of that happening in the new year. So mark that as one of my predictions for next year. Deborah says, for people with AMC Plus on Roku, AMC said the issue should be fixed by the 14th. Oh, that's great news. Yeah, a lot of you took advantage of that AMC Plus Black Friday deal and were having troubles watching it on your Roku devices. So that's awesome news. AMC says it should be fixed by the 14th. Thank you, Deborah. So much love for HBO Max. Now I'm really interested to see what happens with this end of the year survey. I'm really curious to see if more of you pick HBO Max instead of Netflix. Oh, thank you, Chris. Chris says, please remember to like and subscribe. Yeah, if you haven't already, please like this video if you think that these are fun, entertaining, informative at all, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. All right, let's see here. Trekpedia says, heard Roku may have a deal for HBO Max where you get a free trial for getting a new Roku device. I could see that happening. I think that that is happening more and more with devices and services joining up to give away free devices or give free trials, so could absolutely see that happening. Brett says, I would rather see a new movie at the theater than watch at home. I think a lot of us are kind of in the same boat. It's just been so long of being stuck at home, watching movies at home, that I think some of us are really itching to get back to the theater. Tyler has a question about Nintendo, and again, something I'm not an expert on at all, but happy to try to answer or raise the question for the group. Excuse me, sorry. Eric says HBO Max is too expensive. The $10 plan is interesting, but Netflix has one screen for $9. Yeah, I agree. HBO Max is one of the more pricey ones, but I think for what you're getting, it kind of makes sense. So I think that being under $10 still is a good move, and I hope they stay there. All right. Will Yahoo stream NFL next season? I believe that they are still doing that next season. John is enjoying watching movies at home, so it's probably split. Man, I can't talk. Probably split right down the middle, I would imagine, with people who are happy to stay home and people who want to get back to theaters. Excuse me, so sorry, guys. I need to go make a cup of tea after we're done here. All right. Bill says Charlie Brown Christmas on December 19th and able to stream on local PBS stations. And good news, PBS is now on YouTube TV and expanding to more cities with DirecTV Stream. Love to see it. Peter says, about to buy a TV. What do you recommend? About to buy a streaming box. Gotcha. Do you recommend Roku or Google TV? Does Google TV have a good app like Roku? I would say personal preference. If you are new to cord cutting, I always recommend Roku. I just think it's a very easy device to use. And now that they have renewed this deal with YouTube TV, you can pretty much get everything on a Roku. So that would be my recommendation. But I know we do have some Chromecast with Google TV fans in the crowd. So if anyone else wants to chime in about your recommendation, please do. Let's see. Extreme says, the last movie I saw in the theater was Mission Impossible Fallout. It was a horrible experience. I'm so sorry to hear that. Bill is recommending the Google TV with Chromecast. Would love to know why, so any pros or cons for either one. And then Larry says Fire TV, a completely different device. I would say it's personal preference, and they're both pretty affordable, so if you wanted to get one and try it out, they are pretty affordable. Michael says HBO Max app on Roku works well. You can even remove shows from continue watching. Yeah, that's a great feature, something I didn't know I wanted until I had it. Yeah, Chris says all streaming devices have their pros and cons. Completely agree. And I would say every brand has a decent streaming device. So I know I say this all the time, but personal preference, it's just kind of the interface that you prefer. Oh, Michael says just picked up the new Roku LE at Walmart for $15. I'm really curious to know what you think. So after you use it a bit, please come back and let us know what you think about it. Such a good price point, so I just wonder what the quality is like. All right, let's see here. Yeah, lots of people still chiming in on the theater versus watching at home. I remember too when the pandemic started, we all went back and forth about this too. Yeah, we all went back and forth about whether we like watching things in theaters or staying home and watching on our TVs. So it seems like the debate has just continued, and it seems like we're about 50-50. Eric says, I have both Roku and Fire TV since they are both affordable. Yeah, agreed. I mean, also because of my job, but I use both and I like both. Apple TV too. I like them all. And I don't know, I would still say Roku is probably my favorite. G-Money is enjoying his half-price HBO Max subscription. Man, things are just better when you get them on sale, you know? Bill says Top Gun 2 must be in an IMAX theater. Yeah, some things too, it's just more of an experience to see it on a bigger screen. And I know that that's what a lot of movie producers and actors are saying too, that they just want people to be able to see things on a big screen. NYC says, planning to see Spider-Man No Way Home in cinemas, but we'll see Matrix Resurrection on HBO Max. Yeah, I'm with you. Being selective on what you see in the movie theater. Agreed. All right. Jordan says the last movie I saw in theaters was Borat in 2006. Man. I think, oh man, what was the last one I saw? Probably a Star Wars movie. True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Nice. Better at home, you don't have to put up with the nonsense. That's true, depending on what kind of movie watching experience you like. Sometimes being at home and by yourself and not hearing anyone else around you is better. Frayden says Pluto TV adds lots of channels, but I hate it when they remove channels. Yeah, agreed. And I think they just do that to keep fresh new things coming in. They are adding channels constantly, which I really appreciate, but it's rough when you find one that you really like and then they snatch it right back from you. Chris is asking about Doctor Who, and I have to tell you, I have not been keeping up with it, but my family watches it, and they've all been talking about how good a couple of these episodes are. I don't know, maybe I'll finally have to give in and start watching. Norm says no one kicks the back of your chair when you're at home. True, unless you're a parent. Tyler says that the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie 2 poster is coming out tomorrow. Nice. All right. Yes, Keith says that he wishes that Pluto would change up their commercials, same ones over and over. Completely agree. You guys know how I feel about that stupid Charmin commercial. Charmin, great product. The commercials, need them to stop immediately. So, I'm with you. John has a reminder, 17 days till Christmas. Brett says Ghostbusters Afterlife was the last movie he saw in theaters. Bill, great point. Refreshments are much cheaper at home. Absolutely. Jeff, I did see that comment. Thank you. Yeah, G-Money, good point that a lot of current content is on Pluto. So it's owned by Viacom CBS. So you'll see a lot of CBS content making its way over to Pluto, which is nice. So Fox does the same thing with bringing some of its shows to Tubi. Love to see that happen. I just think it's a really good way to pull in more viewers and give some more, I wouldn't call it like premium content, but kind of, you know, current shows, current episodes. Frayden says, same commercials on repeat is annoying, but free is a lovely price. Completely agree. I'm willing to put up with quite a bit to not have to pay. Any love for the NVIDIA Shield? Absolutely. And I will say that the reason I didn't bring it up when that question was asked is that it seemed like that person was asking about devices for a beginner, someone just starting out with cord cutting. So for those people, I always recommend a more affordable device like a Roku or a Fire TV or a Chromecast, just in case it doesn't work out for them. If it turns out that they don't love cord cutting, they aren't out a ton of money the way that they would be for if they had bought a NVIDIA Shield or an Apple TV, an expensive product like that. Brett, I don't appreciate the Charmin theme song. It's going to be stuck in my head all night now. Keith says, keep forgetting about Tubi. Yeah, there are just so many really good free streaming services, and all of them are adding content left and right. So definitely check them out if you are looking at your budget for the new year. It's a good time to look at some free streaming services. Do I subscribe to any smaller specialty streaming apps? I have used CuriosityStream quite a bit. I love documentaries, and I found some really good ones over there. If anyone else has any to recommend, please do. Trekopedia says, it's ironic that we fast forwarded through ads back in the day. Now we go to YouTube to watch commercials. I think about that all the time because Luke is always posting on Twitter some old like 80s and 90s commercials. And I just think it's so funny that people will watch 20 minutes of them in a row. And you're right, we used to love skipping over them. Yeah, again, about the Roku and YouTube thing, I have no idea who gave in or who had to compromise what to make this deal happen. Haven't really heard a lot of details, and obviously they won't give us the whole inside scoop. Someone just mentioned on Twitter earlier that it was like an episode of Succession inside of the room where they were making the deal. So I have no idea, to be honest. I don't know many details about what happened. So for now, I'm just happy they came to an agreement. Eric says Apple products are too expensive for the mainstream consumer. I would say, especially with the Apple TV, I think it's a great product. I know a lot of people love it. I love mine too. But I will say that it's cost prohibitive for a lot of people, especially when some of these other companies make such great devices at a much more affordable price point. So I don't think anyone needs an Apple TV. But if you are just an Apple person and you really like the design, you like the interface, great, go for it. But you definitely don't need it. Jermaine disagrees and says that there are now affordable iPhones and iPads. Agreed. And like I said, they make really great products. So if you want to spend the money on that, fantastic. But for the Apple TV specifically, I would say you don't need it. But if you want it and can afford it, great. What Christmas movies did I watch? Because my science teacher did a Christmas movie quiz and I only know Home Alone. Oh my gosh, can we ever help you? We've talked about this already, but we can name them again. So, It's a Wonderful Life is a good one. Elf is a great one. Christmas Vacation. The Holiday is a personal favorite. So many good ones. Any update on Lowcast? Unfortunately, Lowcast is gone for good. They lost their court case, they were paying all kinds of fines, and they are shut down, unfortunately. Brett says, I like both Roku and Apple TV. Yeah, agreed. I have both and I like them both. I would just always recommend Roku for a beginner. NYC says, we're nostalgic for old commercials and TV channels that no longer exist. Agreed. Yeah, and I think people like watching them and just thinking back about Saturday morning cartoons and watching all of those commercials. No new low-cast markets, unfortunately. I know, I'm still kind of getting over this. I really loved low-cast a lot. You thought they were trying to come back. As far as I know, they're gone for good, unfortunately. Alright guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here, mostly because I can't stop coughing and it's getting really annoying for me, so I'm sure for all of you as well. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out with me and talking Christmas movies again, my favorite thing to talk about, right after free streaming services. So thanks for coming and hanging out with me, and I will be right back here next week with some kind of Christmas outfit on, I promise. Alright, I will see you all next week.